Hello everyone, my name is OhMyJeeves and welcome to episode 11 of the Hello World Let's Play series. In the last episode, we built this absolutely massive tower. Thing is, while this thing is absolutely huge, it's also very boring. I mean, it's just a big grey cobblestone mess, really. And you might be thinking to yourself at this point, well, isn't the fort also just a big grey mess? Just a big grey blob? Nothing really interesting going on? I mean, let's be honest. I've never really detailed any of my builds up to this point, with the exception of maybe inside here. However, all of that is about to change. See, I'm not exactly sure why, but for some reason I thought it would be a good idea or challenge to work on adding detail to this tower. And I have been spending an absolutely huge amount of time in creative mode playing around with ideas. And when I say huge amount of time, I mean hours. Hours, and hours, and hours, and hours. And hours. Also, in addition to detailing the tower, I've also been looking at detailing the fort in exactly the same style. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much about this style at this point. All I'm going to tell you is that in order to take on this project, I'm going to need a huge amount of blackstone and also some other nether bricks that we can obtain by piglin bartering. If you haven't guessed already, that's going to be our next project, but first what I'm going to do is start by clearing out some of this area in the nether around my portal and then trying to find a good space for it. As I said before, I started off with the intention of extending the area around my portal to create room for the piglin trading area, but thought to myself it would be really useful to create space for everyone and not just myself. Then, when I was compiling the time-lapse, I actually thought it would be cool to tear the walls down and make it a big community open space, and I spoke to the other members and they all agreed with me, so that's what we did. I took the walls down and the captain was really useful and he helped me make loads of nether bricks, so I started putting the walls in, and then by the time-lapse had actually finished, it ended up looking like this. I mean, it's amazing! I mean, it's huge and open, and we've got these soul sand pathways we can run along. We can easily access each other's portals without having too much trouble or having to run down fiery corridors or things like that. It's just, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. It's absolutely brilliant. It does, however, mean that I do now need to find a new space for creating the piglin trading area, which was the exact reason why I started doing this all in the first place. So, yeah. Back to square one. And what I've decided to do is relay the tunnels at the bottom of the lava stairs that originally went to my mining location for ancient debris, and then mine out an area at the surface which will become the beginnings of our nether base. Don't panic though, I know these beams look horrendously ugly, but they're simply in place for now just to prevent ghast from spawning. I mean, to be honest, this entire place is a bit ugly. I mean, it's a pretty gross build, if I'm honest. However, we're not here to get started on a brand new project that we're not ready to start yet. We are here so that we can detail the giant tower, and to do that we need a piglin bartering trading area farm thingy, and that is what we're going to do. Starting with the item sorting system, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 items, or 13 stackable items anyway, that need to be sorted that the piglins will barter for. They also barter for a bunch of non-stackable items as well, and those will just fire into some sort of output chest or something, so we're not worried about sorting those. I'm going to start by placing in the chests. I think 2 high, 2 chests for each stack should be fine. Each of these needs a hopper going into the back, like this. I'm definitely going to need a lot more hoppers. Next we need to add a temporary block above each of the chests like that, and then a hopper running into the back. And that is going to be the basis of our item sorter. And then we get rid of the temporary blocks. Even more hoppers needed. This line of hoppers will do the actual filtering, but we need another line of hoppers above that that will send the items across each of the filters. We'll place a temporary block there, and then run a line of hoppers across the top like that. Add in some output chests at the end. I've hooked these up to some hoppers as well. Finally, we can do the redstones. Run 2 lines of blocks like that and that. Some pistons facing into obsidian, comparators to read the signal. Then we need some glass running across like that. Oh, too far. Some redstone dust, which you can barely see on the netherrack. That's quite funky. Another line of blocks. Link these all up with redstone. I say redstone dust. Redstone torches to finish it off. This should now mean we're ready to set up our filters. So, moment of truth, if I put in here a stack of blackstone, it should drop down to, if I'm right, 41. If I followed the design correctly. By the way, if you do want to check out the design, it's one by Silent Whisperer. Just look for item sorters, you'll find it. It's pretty obvious. Add one of each of the placeholder blocks to the rest of the system. Now we just have to do that for each of the stackable items. We should now be able to test this out. So I've emptied out all of the items that were in the chests that were there before. And we're going to come into here, which is now our temporary input chest. And we're going to put in all of the items that we had left over. And a stack of magma blocks which shouldn't be sorted. And now we wait. So this chest is now empty. And these should have... This is good. This is very good. It looks like our item sorter is sorted. Yep. The only thing we also need to check is, hopefully, if I'm right, it should fall into this bottom right one. Yeah, our 60 map cubes. This is awesome. The next section we need to build is the piglin pod. But before we can get started, we need to dig out a little bit more space underneath. Dig, 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 dig. Now the plan is that our little piggies are going to be stood on these smooth blocks. So what we need to do now is find a way to provide them with gold. So we need some droppers. Our droppers then need some hoppers. Redstone comparators out the back. Into some pistons. That will push an observer into another observer, which will power a block, which will power the torch, which will power the block above it, which will power the dropper. So I did a quick test, and these are definitely meant to be sticky pistons. So the whole thing together looks a little something like this. An item will feed into the hopper, which will feed into the dropper. That dropper will give a redstone signal into this comparator, which will power this piston. That will push this observer down, which will give 2 observers facing each other, creating an observer clock. That will flick this torch on and off, powering the block above it, which will in turn power the dropper, shooting out all of the gold to our piggies. Or at least it will now that I've remembered to put the redstone dust on top of the pistons. Which means our piggy pods are now complete, so all we need to do now is find some piggies to live in these fabulous new homes. Hello. Oh, hello. What's that up there? Is that a piggy? That's a piggy. Hey piggy. That's a couple of piggies. Here, piggy, 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 piggy. I mean, it's working. I think this is working. And now all I have to do, I'm hoping, is if I run them towards the minecarts, that they will just get in one of them. There's 1. 2. Perfect. Let's let this piggy loose. Hey. You coming? Yeah. Come on, piggy. Come on. Where are you going? Look, come back. I'm so confused. I think I lost my pig. Oh, you fall down this way. Oh my gosh. Oh no, he's there. He's there. Okay. Come on. Come get me. Come get me. Oh god, no, he's faster than me. Ah! This is a lot easier than I thought it would be. I wish getting villagers to cooperate was this easy. Yes! He's in a minecart. 2 more to go. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Nope. 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 Don't burn, piggy. Don't burn. You could live. This is good. Also, doesn't have a crossbow, so you are definitely one of my favourite piggies. Oh, really? This is terrible timing. Ooh. Also, they shouldn't be able to spawn anyway. No, get in the minecart. Yes. Oh gosh. No, no. Oh gosh. That was scary. Yes. Is he gonna run through it? 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 Yay! Look at that. Has one of them despawned? Okay, sadly it looks like we need to find one more. This guy's crossbow's literally inside of me right now. What is going on? How is... Why? He's just running with me. You're in the wrong way. Oh dear. Little floppy ears are so funny. Again, slower piggies. Oh wow. Okay. Hello. Hello. Oh no! Don't kill my piggy. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Yeah. Is he there? Yeah, he's still there. Come on. Dude. No, dude, you're going the wrong way. Hey. Hey. Mate, this way. Why are you going up here? Come on. You're going the wrong way. This is better. Come on. Come on. Oh, wow. Come on. No. I need you to go in that minecart. I'm just getting absolutely just shot about with those. Come on, run. Yay! You shall be Montgomery the First. And you shall be... okay. Montgomery the Second. I bestow upon you the title of Montgomery the Third. And you, fine piglet, nope, not you. You, fine piglet, you are Montgomery the Fourth. And you, the final piglet, shall be Dave. Pig is gonna ride the railroad. This has just worked out so well. This never seems like this never normally go this well. This is just working out brilliantly. If I'm right, we need to just push that back a bit, take that out, put that in, and then should be able to virtually push this little man into his little slot. Perfect. Dave, may I welcome you to your new home? Dave? Dave, why aren't you going, Dave? May I welcome you to your humble abode? This is just so much fun. Oh. This little piggy went to market, and this little piggy stayed at home, and this little piggy had roast beef, and this little piggy had none, and this little piggy went wee 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 all the way home. Well, now that they're all in safely, we may as well make sure that they're comfortable, aka can't escape. Now I have to do the tricky job of removing the minecarts. Go on, hopefully they don't jump out. Yeah! So we now have an item sorter, and we have our piglins ready to trade. And what we've got to do next is connect them up. And to do that, we need 2 railcart systems, the first of which will run below our little piggies, which is going to collect the drops. We need to connect that up towards the item sorter. So we need to bring these up in a sort of staircase. Should join up nicely. Place in the rails. It would have been easier if I hadn't have dug this quite so deep. Torch on the back of here. And then some powered rails running upwards, and then the same again. Then remove our temporary chest. Try that again. Then we want to place a block here, a powered rail, and then link these up. And now we need to build an item unloader system at this end, so that all of the drops get taken into our hopper line. Comparator there to read the signal out of the hopper, a torch there, which will get depowered, which will power or depower the block above it if I can. Oh dear, what am I doing? And then we need, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. This is probably not the right way of going, but I think a redstone dust here. Okay, so if I place this here, the minecart should go all the way around the track. Okay, we might need to give it a bit more speed. And if we give it a go now, yeah, that looks much better. Oh, I missed one, my bad. So I've added a stack of netherrack, which is now in there. Oh, I've just realised that's a normal minecart. We need a hopper minecart. Also, that powered rail is getting powered on and off when that torch flickers, so we need to fix that as well. So we can probably do that by just hopefully putting some torches underneath. This looks promising. Is it working? Yeah, look! It's unloading the netherrack. So the minecart stopped, and hopefully it should then go again in a second. Just got to wait a few more blocks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and oh yeah, of course I had this powered rail turned off. My mistake. That's my bad. And the second minecart rail we need to build is a delivery system to these hoppers with some gold. So first off, we're going to need to put in a set of blocks for the rails to sit on. Then we need to lay our rails and then link that up to a little platform down here. Okay, so I'm going to run a quick test before I run the final piece of this redstone build. So we turn that on. And the collection minecart is running. We put 5 pieces of gold in that one. Turn that on and off. That sends the minecart. They all get a piece of gold. They're thinking about it. Thinking about it some more. And then they trade. And that minecart picks everything up. And then it should stop here momentarily. This is good. And then it should go again. Hopefully, needs a minute. And it goes again. This is amazing! This is amazing! You might be thinking that it looks like that we're all done, but actually there is one more aspect to this design, and it comes down to one common problem in redstone contraptions. It's all about the timing, isn't it? All about the timing! You see, if we send that minecart full of gold to these piglins, those piglins can't trade fast enough. So all of the gold will just sit in the bottom of their little piglin pods, and then those words, oh my gosh, words, those pieces of gold will get picked up by the collection minecart. So all that happens is the gold just gets fed from one minecart to another straight back into our sorting system. To solve these issues, we're going to use something called a hopper clock. Now, these are very simple and very effective looking systems. We have a pair of comparators like that. And then we have a pair of hoppers that face into each other. So, if I remember this rightly, you put in a temporary block on one side, then face one that way, and then do the same thing from this side. Nope. Try that again. Then we have some pistons which sit above the comparators. A redstone block that goes in the middle. Redstone dust at each end. Magic number I'm going to need in here to get the timings right for piglin trades is 21 blocks. So if I turn this off for a minute and allow the clock to run, what happens is that the hoppers pass the items back and forth. Of course, the more items there are, the longer it takes or doesn't take, and then I can use the output from that to power things like the minecarts in order to well, just manage the timings really. I also want the ability to be able to turn the entire system on and off from one switch. Mainly just because it'll allow me to prevent the minecarts from running forever and either potentially get lost when chunks get loaded and unloaded or create unnecessary lag. To power each circuit individually, I need to provide power to this block here and this block here. So all I need to do is run redstone to power both of those blocks, which will be powered from one switch, which I'm going to place here. This one should be relatively simple. We should just be able to remove that lever. Oh, if I can, there we go. And then place a block here and a repeater, if I can jump here, and then just run this redstone line like that. The second one isn't too much more difficult, we just need to run it down through this little hole in the floor I've made to link up to the block at the other end. And that's it, it's all finished, or at least the technical side of it is anyway. Obviously this thing clearly needs a little bit of decoration. But if we now hit this switch, both minecarts should go on their merry way, either delivering gold to the piglins and doing the collection. The collection one will continue to run, while this one will stop while it waits for the timer clock. That timer clock is obviously set to the, roughly speaking, 8 seconds it takes for the piglins to do their trades, and then it should fire off any second now, hopefully, yep, and go off again. And that will keep cycling around and doing that, basically, until someone turns this switch back off again. So, let's fill this thing up with some gold and get working on the design. And there you have it, the piglin bartering farm is now finished. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. I mean, I really challenged myself to try and use some different colours and blocks and textures for this build because, let's be honest, most of my stuff is basically just made out of cobblestone and doesn't really have much other thought, but I really like this. I think it's really cool. I've used a really funky glazed terracotta ceiling. I've tried to make use of some end rods as alternative lighting. Yeah, I know we've got quartz again, but let's be honest, quartz is great. Who doesn't love quartz? I just think the whole thing looks really cool. And on top of that, functionally, it's working out great. If we look in here, look at all of this stuff that we've collected. And this was from, I think it was about a stack of gold blocks. I think in total I've put through it. It might be slightly less than that. Actually, no, I think it's about 8 stacks of gold. But yeah, look at the amount of cool stuff we've got. I mean, to be honest, it's producing so many iron nuggets, I might not even need an iron farm at this point. But the most important one, of course, is blackstone, which is why we built this entire thing, so we can get detailing some of our other boring cobblestone builds. It's been fun, but that's the end of today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like or consider subscribing. And remember, your feedback is welcome down in the comments section. See you later, guys. No! What? I was digging out some area for a hopper clock. I was digging out the area for a hopper clock, and it's like the nether's giving birth.